Hello BBN. Is Lamont Butler the man for Kentucky? And of course Pope needs to work hard with this guy and the team to continue with the same purpose before the game against Louisville. And how will it be? Let's analyze the news. But first I want to see your subscription here on the channel. Subscribe and continue receiving news from the Cats. The Kentucky Wildcats continue to build their campaign, but the return of Lamont Butler is the most anticipated piece for the team's rotation. After the 78-67 victory against Colgate, the central question at Rupp Arena was not about the solid performance on the court, but about Butler's availability for the expected matchup against Louisville on Saturday. Mark Pope, a strategist known for his patient and pragmatic approach, brought encouraging news. In his words, Butler is improving a little and has already started working on the court. It's a clear sign that the starting point guard could be close to a return, something vital to Kentucky's ambitions. The ankle injury that sidelined him the past 2 games has revealed the weight he carries for the team. Averaging 12.9 points, 3.9 assists and 3.1 rebounds per game, in addition to shooting an impressive 55.1% from the field, Butler is more than just a ball handler, he's Pope's offensive engine. The current situation on the roster adds even more urgency. The prolonged absence of Kerr Kriisa, who has been sidelined after foot surgery, has put pressure on the second unit. Despite that, Pope has expressed confidence in the team's depth, which has responded well in the 2 games without Butler. But the team knows that against opponents like Louisville, relying solely on rotation will be insufficient. Butler's experience and playmaking ability are indispensable tools in the Wildcats' arsenal. Even though he's been out, Butler has been a constant presence in the recovery process, participating in gradual workouts and carefully monitoring his body signals. Pope explained that the final decision on his participation will only be made after evaluating the practices on Thursday and Friday. "I would prefer him to come back soon," said the coach, signaling the impact that his absence has on the tactical planning. The challenge of Louisville promises to be an important test. The historically combative rival team offers a pressure scenario that demands a point guard like Butler, someone capable of keeping the team balanced, especially in critical moments. Kentucky has managed to remain undefeated since the injury, but games against higher caliber opponents demand leadership and consistency on the court. It's worth noting that Pope has been able to extract solid performances from other players to temporarily fill the void left by Butler and Kriisa. However, the return of the starting point guard adds a layer of versatility that increases the team's offensive and defensive potential. Butler not only creates his own shots, but also creates space for teammates, something that has been lacking in crucial moments in recent games. The season is long, but games like Saturday's define the story. Pope, with his ability to manage teams under pressure, knows the value of each decision. Meanwhile, Butler is preparing to answer the call, and his return could be the last straw for Kentucky to reach new heights. Let's get going. What about football? Mark Stoops remains a central figure in the Kentucky football program, even as he faces challenges off the field. The coach recently underwent knee surgery during the offseason, which puts a temporary question mark over his physical presence on the field, but not over his leadership and impact on the program. The news was met with relief after reports that the procedure was successful, as reported by Tony Neely via the Courier-Journal. While Stoops is expected to be ready to return to action before spring practice, the timing of the surgery also reflects a period of transition and adjustment for the program. The coach, who took over the Wildcats in 2013, transformed the culture of a team accustomed to double-digit losing streaks over the past decade into a team that competes in the powerful Southeastern Conference, SEC. His recognition as SEC Coach of the Year in 2018 was not just an accolade, but a mark of his lasting impact. Stoops' recovery coincides with the end of the National Signing Day cycle, a crucial event for bolstering the roster and planning for the team's future. Last season was a reminder that the program still faces significant challenges, but Stoops' ability to attract talent and adjust strategies will be essential to taking the next step. The question that looms large is, how will he use his experience and vision to capitalize on the new recruits and avoid recent mistakes? In addition to the physical challenge, there is the mental aspect of rebuilding after criticism. In recent months, Stoops has received negative feedback from some in the fan base, impatient with what they perceived as stagnation. But it is important to remember that his leadership is the foundation that has kept the program from falling into irrelevance. Stoops' presence at the helm of Kentucky continues to be a competitive advantage in a conference full of renowned coaches. Even though he's temporarily sidelined, his recovery comes at an opportune time, as preseason decisions will set the tone for 2024. The challenge will be to use the coming months not only to heal, but also to refine the strategy that can restore the team's luster and renew the fans' confidence. Meanwhile, his brother, Oklahoma Sooners legend Bob Stoops, also underwent hip replacement surgery. This medical coincidence reminds us that, despite their achievements and recognition, both face human challenges. For Mark Stoops, his recovery and overcoming of challenges seems to be yet another chapter in his resilient journey in Lexington. Stoops' return to full fitness will be watched with anticipation not only by Kentucky fans, but also by the entire SEC. After all, he's already proven himself capable of turning challenges into opportunities. Now, it remains to be seen whether he can do the same with the Wildcats in a new season that, let's face it, needs a lot of improvement. But let's keep cheering for the football team, too. I want to see your comments now, so leave a comment.